Yo, what's up, guys? Felix from Giant Lifestyle. Welcome back to the channel. So right now, I am waiting to meet two of my business partners who will open up a business bank account under a new LLC for a new property that we are going to the closing table for in I don't know, probably a week or so. It's supposed to be tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to be tomorrow. So I just wanted to basically share my thoughts on this. So basically, I have basically one of my biggest dreams of all time was like I got into entrepreneurship and real estate and business to help my family. Like, I grew up pretty good life. Like, I always had, clothes. I went to good schools, great neighborhood, all that stuff. But I could tell like my parents were working very hard to make sure that I had a great life. And I didn't really notice that until I went to college, which was in 2013, and I really started to see like you started to understand about money and what stuff costs, because I feel like when we're younger, we're pretty naive to everything. We don't really understand how this world works, and it's a cold world out here, man. It's hard, it's cold, and it costs money. You're not gonna get around the fact that you need to become rich in this life. You need to touch millions, man. Like $100,000 a year, man. That simply won't cut it. Maybe in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, it cut it, but nowadays it simply don't cut it, man. If you want to be living good, you need to touch $1 million plus per year. And once I started to realize that my parents, they got money, but they're not really living the life that they want. They're not living a life of financial freedom. That really didn't sit well with me, man, because they went so hard for me, and it's the law of reciprocity that I have to give it back to them, especially giving me the foundation. And that is when I started to feel like, forget partying, forget chasing girls, forget smoking weed, getting high, doing any of that stuff. I need to set up a foundation for my family. So, if they need a job because they get fired, or if somebody needs an emergency fund or somebody needs help, I'm there to provide it to them. And I really want to be the one who could say I took care of my family. That's always something that I want to do, and I think it's something that a lot of people want to do, is they want to say that they took care of their parents, because their parents, even if it wasn't the greatest life ever, they were there to basically give it to them, even if it wasn't living in mansions, but their parents showed like they went hard for them. You want to give it back to them. So fast forward, I started this journey. I read my first business book in February of 2014, or January maybe. And that is when I've decided to go hard. I read the book in January, decided to drop out in February of 2014 from Ohio University. I never actually told my full story on here, but basically I read this book. What actually happened is the day before I left for college, I actually met this dude who told me that, he started dropping the bug in my ear about entrepreneurship and stuff. And he told me that if I don't like college, to go to pick up this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Fast forward, read the book, dropped out of college, and was on the pursuit to build a business, create financial freedom, and help my parents ever since. Well, when you start going against what society rules out, everybody's going to go against you. When I first dropped out, I had the feeling that a lot of millennials face, which is, oh my God, my parents are disappointed in me. They're not liking what I was doing. But I have to say, even though they weren't really that supportive, they still were supportive than what probably other 90% of parents are. And plus, you have to develop the mindset that if they support me, if they think I'm a loser, either or, I'm going to get what I'm going to get. So that's the mentality you have to have. Now, fast forward 4 or 5 years, I own 3 properties. I have a fix and flip. I'm doing 2 other businesses. They seen me make 6 figures 2 years ago with my medical commodity business, and my life is on a much better path. And when people start to see you succeed, man, they have no choice but to say, I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something. And that's really how you're going to get respect from people in your old friends, your family, whatever it is. If you're looking for that respect, if you're tired of people thinking like, yo, this dude's playing games, he ain't doing nothing with his life, go out there and make 6 figures. Watch how people treat you differently. So that's a cool feeling. And then also, like I said, and I never spoke about this on my channel, is I never really had the strongest relationship with my father. He did at one point drink a lot, and he's now like 4 or 5 years sober, so that's pretty good for his own health. But I never really had a strong relationship with him. And I was just talking with him this morning, And he said he was doing something at my grandparents' house as far as, doing some rewiring and stuff or something like that. And I was asking him about his background with wiring houses, and he said that he could do it top to bottom. And basically I just told him like, yo, we're gonna get a lot of properties soon. Maybe you want to wire them, and then he said that he could also do like maintenance on my properties, because my goal was to buy like 15 to 20 units this year and all the way up to 100 units by the time I'm 30. And I think I'm basically just gonna stick my hand out there and try and build that relationship, because I sort of feel like low-key scarred kind of, because he was like drinking a lot between like the ages of between I was 5 and I don't know 19. So I kind of have like a weird experience as far as my relationship with him. I don't know if any of you guys have ever dealt with alcoholic parents, but it's kind of like I don't really know this person, so it's kind of like an awkward feeling. But I feel like if I could slowly build a relationship, I have to be appreciative, because my parents are the ones who gave me life, so I can't totally disregard past experiences. I have to give him props, because he did go out there and clean his life up and stuff. So that's pretty cool, which is awesome. And plus my dad is like a master with handyman stuff, and I'd rather keep the money in the family. And plus I know that if I bring him on a project, he's gonna do it right. He said he'd be willing to wire my houses. I know he got to get his license and stuff for the projects, for the electrical stuff, but he could do anything. Like, he could literally build a house top to bottom, soup to nuts. He knows how to do all that stuff, and I always admired that from him, because now that I'm in the real estate field, I'm learning it, but I don't know how to spackle. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. It is a cool skill to know, because if you ever have a house, you should know at least what the correct way is to do it, not just you don't want to be oblivious to everything, because especially in this construction field, if you're oblivious, people will just, they get done dirty, man. They'll take you for every single dollar you got. So basically just kind of had a cool step forward in the right direction today is what I'm saying. Like, I never really spoke to my father much in my life, just going to see where I could take it. I'm not going to hold a grudge and stuff. It's kind of been awkward and never really had a father-son kind of talk, if you know what I mean. But I'm gonna just go out there, keep it strictly business for now, and see where it goes. I'm not gonna have him start on any of my current projects, but I'm in the process of getting a 4-family, 2 4-families, some multi-families, and some other cheap single families in a upcoming neighborhood by me. So I might have him start on like a test project and see how we work together. But that's what I'm gonna do. I just felt good about that today, to know that now I can rebuild the relationship with my family. But if my dad ever needs an additional income, I could be there too. He could do some maintenance on my properties, or I could give him a multifamily. That's another thing I want to do, is just here my sister. Her name is Meg. Yo, Meg, here's a multifamily. Yo, Mom, here's a multifamily. Yo, Dad, here's a multifamily. Cash flow, you good. If you ever need money, let me know. I'll go out there and get more deals. And that's really what I wanted to do, but it takes so long to actually make it work, man. It's like you got all these people bashing you. It's not easy, man. So that's basically how I was thinking. If your goal is to take care of your parents, bro, go out there and do it. Hustle hard. Make it happen. And I'm about to step into this meeting, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.